Where to your mother, my name's Steve, this channel is Fragrances. Thank you for tuning in. This part of the video I do not want to go on for too long, so I'm going to try and get into it because this is just going to be a quick first impressions. I'm talking about, this is Molecule 01 plus Mandarin. So most of you know about the Molecule 01, their M plus line. They basically just keep the Molecule 01, but then they add in another kind of factor. So I actually got, with this, I got a sample of Molecule 01 plus Iris, which I'll probably report in the next part of the video or another video, because that actually smells fucking lovely. Let's get into this. Oh, hello. As I say, I got a little sample with this, a free sample of Molecule 01 plus Iris, and I was really pleasantly surprised by that. That smelled really good. But this I've never smelled before. I'm not wearing a fragrance today, so this could well be my scent of the day. Let's give this a go. Oh wow, that's, both sides. Right, it's really, I'm gonna state the obvious, but it's a really citrusy, it smells really fresh. It's like, my daughter she's only like just over 1, so she has like orange segments and I have to chop them up into tiny bits. So it reminds me of that when I get an orange and I just chop it up, so the juice is coming out and the aroma is coming out from just chopping up an orange. It's like very natural and not synthetic. Oh, really nice. I'm not getting much other than the Mandarin at this stage. Maybe the hint of the sort of woody undertones, but all I'm getting really is this very natural, juicy Mandarin, which is good. I like it. The only downside with sort of just a very Mandarin orangey type fragrance is you're probably just going to smell like shower gel, shampoo, that sort of thing. But this is really nice. So it's not a blind buy fail. Obviously I need to go away, try the performance, see what it's like in the air and what it's like to wear. But actually this sort of 30ml size is probably ideal because I've got so many fragrances, I'm never going to go through it, but who knows, this could this replace Clinique's Happy as my favourite Mandarin fragrance? I'm going to go and wear it for a week or so, and then I'll come back in the next part of this video and let you know how I got on and potentially answer that question. So yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Hello, welcome back. It has been over a week with this bad boy and I've really enjoyed wearing it. As you can see, I've put a bit of a dent in the bottle. That's because I was going quite heavy on it, in all honesty. I normally do with citrusy kind of summer type fragrances because they don't always last that long. And also the sprayer on this isn't the best. It's okay, but it's kind of like a short, sharp kind of blast, so more reason to kind of add those extra sprays. Peek behind the curtain here, that's not the first time I've recorded that part of the video, and my mouse is now getting covered in Molecule 01 plus Mandarin, so that's good. Anyway, before I tell you about how my opinion of this fragrance has changed and how it develops, mainly because my opinion hasn't changed and it doesn't develop, let's talk about the performance. The performance was surprisingly good, well, surprisingly okay. I was not expecting much, particularly in the longevity. Molecule 01 has always been one of those fragrances that people say it lasts forever, but you just can't smell it on yourself. You go anosmic to it, other people can smell it. It's kind of, its subtlety is its strength and whatever, etc, etc. But Molecule 01 on me has always been super close wearing, really quite subtle. I can't really get it unless I'm sort of getting really close. And that's what I was getting from this really towards the end. So it didn't last super long. I was getting about 5 hours. I could still smell it after about 5 hours, but it was very much a close wearing skin scent. What did pleasantly surprise me was the projection. Projection and sillage seemed really quite good in the first couple of hours. As I say, it's probably slightly skewed because I was going really quite heavy. I was putting lots of sprays around my neck, around my hair. But in that first hour, it's really noticeable. That gorgeous, juicy mandarin note is very noticeable. And I was really enjoying it. And it's noticeable into the second hour as well. In the second hour, it's more of a kind of, as you move, you get wafts of it kind of from the sillage. But basically, in the first couple of hours, it was sort of really quite noticeable to me, at least. But as I say, I was going super heavy. So I was really quite pleasantly surprised by the performance. I've got sort of no issues there, particularly for a fresher citrusy fragrance. But as per usual with that sort of style of fragrance, you will need to reapply at lunchtime, especially if you want to smell that gorgeous mandarin note into the afternoon. Right, so how do I feel about this fragrance? Has my opinion changed? Is it my new #1 favourite mandarin fragrance? The answer to both of those questions is no. My opinion hasn't changed, mainly because this is a simple by design fragrance. It's like 2 notes. And it's very linear. It kind of doesn't change too much apart from kind of getting a bit weaker. I'll talk about that in a minute. And yeah, for that reason, my opinion hasn't changed at all. It's the opening, as I said, is this gorgeous, organic, natural smelling. That's the thing I need to emphasize. Or I can insert all of the usual adjectives that you use to describe like a citrusy fragrance. So it's juicy, it's zingy, it's tangy, it's fresh. All of those kind of words apply for this fragrance. Any citrus fragrance review kind of word bingo cliche that you can kind of throw in works for this fragrance. So insert all of those adjectives, they all apply. But the one adjective that I feel like I need to emphasize is that it's a really natural smelling mandarin. It doesn't smell synthetic hardly at all to me. So that helps it not smelling like, you know, a household cleaner or anything like that. It just smells really natural and good. As much as I love Clinique Happy, the fragrance I mentioned in the first part of this video, it does smell synthetic. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, and people have sort of had go at me for saying, oh, synthetic's not always bad. And I'm not saying it is, not at all. I'm a chemist. So I'm just letting you know that it does smell really natural as opposed to some other citrusy ones that can smell a bit synthetic, and sometimes for that reason they can smell like a household cleaner or toilet cleaner or whatever. So this does smell really, really natural. It's got that juicy, gorgeous mandarin, which you smell for a couple of hours, as I said, and then after that it starts raining in, and I get more of the woody-ish undertones of Molecule 01, which are always sort of pretty subtle on my skin, but they are kind of there. But it's not, on my skin at least anyway, it's definitely, the Molecule 01 has never come across as really, really woody. Some people say they get like wood shavings or sawdust. I don't get any of that on my skin with Molecule 01. I just get very sort of subtle kind of clean woody-ishness, which I know is suitably vague, but that's what I get. Anyway, so that's what you get from this fragrance. And if you like mandarin fragrances like me, you will love this. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous mandarin. I must emphasize that. I love the smell. And what I also will say is I've been wearing this in the height of British winter, which basically means it's been cold as fuck and the weather's been shit. So I've been wearing layers and stuff. So again, this is not the playground of this fragrance. This would definitely come into its own in summer. So obviously do bear that in mind. As you know, I'm the most basic of bitches. I don't shy away from that fact. I love fragrances that typically are not too complex, that just smell really good, and I like something that's simple, but simple done well. Bergamot 22, for example, I think is a very simple fragrance, but I absolutely love it. I think it's done really well, and I really enjoy it, and I'd happily wear it. Now I love this fragrance. I think it smells really good, I must emphasize. However, the basicness in this, as I say, is a bit of a double-edged sword for me, in the sense that it's maybe a bit too basic. And that's rich coming from me, isn't it, really? It's just, what I mean is the fact that, as I said earlier in that first impressions part of the video, the mandarin is pretty much all you get. So for that reason, it can, as I say, at least it doesn't smell like kitchen clean or anything like that, but it does smell kind of like just a clean shampoo or shower gel or something like that. For me, for this to be a love and take it to the next level, I want that lovely mandarin but with something else in there, like some musks or something else. But that said, I've not really toyed with layering this too much. I did inadvertently discover today that Today my scent of the day is Rich Warm Addictive by Zara, which is kind of like tobacco and honey. I inadvertently layered it with this when I was kind of doing some sort of prepping for this video and spraying it on. I forgot I had some on my hand. And it actually now smells like something akin to Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. So I think this has potentially got good layering potential, as Molecule 01 fragrances do. And if you just want to add like an extra fruity layer to a fragrance, I think this could work really well in that regard. So I think there's definitely some strengths in that. And it mixed with Rich Warm Addictive, it smells really good. So there you go, that's a tip for you. So yeah, I think this is a really good fragrance. I would recommend it, especially if you love Mandarin, especially if you want to add the Mandarin accord to some other fragrances that you really enjoy. You want to play around with it and just add your favorite note to a fragrance that you already have that doesn't have Mandarin. I think this is a great shout. But for a fragrance on its own, I can't help but be slightly underwhelmed. Now, as I say, I love the smell of it. I'm not saying it's bad, and I have been testing it in winter, and I think it really come into its own in summer, but it's just a little bit too basic for even this basic bitch. It's just Mandarin and that's it. So just bear that in mind if you're gonna get this fragrance. As I say, it's not missold. They're not selling it as something it's not. You get what it says it is. So I'm not complaining about that, but just bear that in mind that there's not much else to it. So you really do need to love Mandarin, or you need to have plans to kind of play with this and layer it with another fragrance. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Do really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe and all that shit, but do please comment below and let me know what is your favorite fragrance from the Molecule line or Molecule Plus line or the Escentric Molecule line. Do kind of let me know. I'd be really intrigued. I've not tried many. Thanks again. I do really appreciate all the support, the likes, the comments, etc. And I will see you for a video soon. Take care. Much love.